Battlefield 6 has so many minor details that are infuriating, and it turns the gameplay into pure rage bait. And in today's video, we'll be addressing every single thing I can think of that is an active frustration while playing Battlefield 6 that just makes the game needlessly irritating to experience. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't really care at this point. You know, I'm sure this video will get downplayed and it'll get posted somewhere, and people in the comment section will say the game is completely fine and that I'm just complaining, and the same old shit that I've seen for the past 8 years with a certain section of the Battlefield community. But I think for the real ones that actually play the game and that are actual serious people that want to see the game improve, this video should be extremely relatable. First and foremost, I'm a fan of the game, you know, and I just don't think a lot of this stuff should really be in the state that it's in. The first thing I'll mention is something people have been asking me to talk about in a video. Why are they just removing game modes with no explanation? Where is King of the Hill? Imagine if you're a normal guy, right, and you launch the game and you go, yeah, like I'm gonna play some King of the Hill. Boom, it's gone. Vanished with absolutely no explanation. But that's not even at the end of it, because they have cooked Rush. Look at this. I have Rush selected. You cannot select any of the other maps in the game. You can only play it on Suru Reef. And once again, there is no explanation for this anywhere I can find. The only explanation is it's probably just randomly bugged for no reason. And this happens way too often. Little weird things like this are just commonplace in Battlefield, and it is absolutely rage bait. Those of you that have been watching the stream for the past couple of days will probably know that I'm trying to learn jets in Battlefield 6. I've flown before in Battlefield 3 and 4, but of course the entire gameplay loop of Battlefield 6 jets is completely different, so I need reps and time and playtime in them to actually understand everything. But what if I told you, you can't spawn in the jet from the beginning of the game? As you can see here, I'm waiting for this match to start, and if I want to get in the jet from the start of the match, I have to wait for this countdown, I have to go through an entire cinematic, and then and only then am I allowed to hit the escape button, and I actually have to redeploy in order to get to this menu, which will pop up in about a second, after I stare at my fucking lifeless corpse, right? So now we're in the menu, and now I can spawn in the jet. But you know what? You know what's even more funny? You're not even guaranteed to get this jet, even though I was proactive and I redeployed to try to get it, because there could be some little weird freak sitting here with an auto clicker enabled that clicks once every fucking millisecond so he can get the jet. So it's like, you have to tank a death in order to spawn in the vehicle you want to play in, and then you're playing against somebody that probably has a fucking auto clicker, so you're probably not going to get the vehicle anyway. It's pure rage bait. The entire system is flawed. And even if you manage to beat the freak with the auto clicker and you get the jet, you still get randomly hit through flares by aim assist tow missiles from the new attack boat. The entire gameplay loop I've just shown you is pure rage bait. And this is only the experience I've been having trying to learn jets in Battlefield 6, but I'm being heavily discouraged by all of this bullshit. So that's the jet experience. What about the average infantry experience? Well, one thing I've been noticing a lot recently is grenade indicators are damn near invisible, and they have been since the beta of the game, and they've received pretty much no changes. I die to invisible or seemingly invisible grenades all the time. The grenade indicator just seems to disappear off your screen, or it blends in on the edges of your screen, and you end up dying because you simply didn't move. But again, pure rage bait, because if we could actually see the grenade indicator, we would not be dying to some of these things because we would be given the proper information that we need in order to make the play that would keep us alive. The same thing can be said for the unbelievably horrendous audio in this game. I can't tell you how many times I'm confused by the directional audio in this game. I end up dying because I didn't hear a sound cue, or the sound cue simply didn't play. I've had instances recently where I actually hear the sound cue, but it isn't in the place where I think it is. It sounds above me, but it's actually to my right. But the most common thing that happens with the directional audio in this game is there is a person that is actually directly next to you that you should be able to hear, but you can't hear him until he is on your screen already shooting you. It seems to me like there is a blatantly obvious issue regarding audio occlusion when it comes to walls blocking sound in this game, and it is heavily impacting the gameplay experience, especially when you tie it in to the time to kill. If you're not given the proper information to make the correct play, you just die instantly in this game because the time to kill is the fastest Battlefield time to kill ever. Even if you are the most cracked out, sweaty, focused gamer on the planet, if someone has an SCW-10 or an SG, you're dying in under 200 milliseconds. You are most likely not going to be able to react, and even if you do, the chances that you actually win the gunfight and survive are slim to none because they probably have 1 or 2 shots on you in the gunfight anyway. And the cherry on top for me is the fact that the visibility in this game, guys, is still not that great. I understand they did the soldier visibility filter stuff and spotting is ridiculous, but the raw visibility of this game, I don't think they're ever going to be able to fix it, because how could they possibly fix it? What are they going to do? Turn the soldiers pink? There are still so many instances of questionable visibility in this game, and I really just think we're going to have to deal with it for the entire life cycle of Battlefield 6. And now we come to the overall match experience of just playing Battlefield 6. I know you guys know what I'm going to get at. I mean, you load into a game of Battlefield, most of the time, or at least too often, it's a late join where your team is getting pulverized. You hit tab, your team is 1 and fucking 20 combined, the majority of your teammates don't have any kills with double-digit deaths, and it's like a 2-0 escalation game. But it obviously isn't exclusive to escalation. This happens in every single game mode present in Battlefield 6. It just seems like the matchmaking has it out for you. I don't know what it is, but particularly in domination, it just makes me feel like the matchmaking wants me to carry these 7 other bricks on my team, and there's nothing I can do about it. Breakthrough is the exact same way a lot of the time. You'll load into a breakthrough game on attack. If your team doesn't steamroll that first sector, a lot of people are going to start giving up. Your team starts losing momentum. The tickets start to bleed. You hit the scoreboard. Nobody's killing anyone. And you know the funniest part? You can't even complain about this because people will just bitch at you. Like you're the problem and it isn't the 31 other people that aren't participating in the fucking gameplay of the game. Pointing out a basic fact that is visible to everyone on the scoreboard that my team isn't participating is somehow toxic. All I want to do, and really all anyone wants to do, is just play the game and have a decent experience. And the fact of the matter is, whatever this matchmaking system is doing makes it impossible or unbelievably unlikely that you are about to enjoy the experience it just put you in. So what is the natural reaction for many people? You just leave the game and you re-queue. The problem is, you can't even really escape it because it's almost every single game that this happens. I can't even remember the last time I had a decently drawn out conquest or escalation or breakthrough game. You are either steamrolling or you are getting steamrolled. And the funniest part is, people even complain that other players leave the game, even though it doesn't affect them in any way, shape, or form. I don't know why other people are concerned about what other players are doing when it comes to the servers and the games they select to play in the game that they purchased. I don't know why, but I've observed this behavior within the Battlefield community for a number of years at this point. You go on Reddit, and some people are literally bragging that they never leave a game. Like, congratulations, bro. You let the matchmaking fuck your entire experience up. Like, I don't care. I'm leaving the game. A certain section of the Battlefield community is under the impression that this is some sort of high-stakes ranked lobby with money on the line. No, bro. This is a worthless, meaningless, public lobby of Battlefield 6 where winning or losing doesn't matter. So the best way to curate your experience is to leave every fucking game until you finally find a server that isn't a total steamroll. So just to recap where we're at so far, the vehicle experience rage baits you, the matchmaking experience rage baits you, your teammates rage bait you, the audio and the time to kill and the visibility rage bait you, the grenade indicators rage bait you, and on any given day, your favorite game mode might completely vanish as an option from the main menu. But remember guys, you are not allowed to get angry at any of this, because then you are just complaining, and you're a COD kid, and you're toxic, and all the other things. And don't even get me started on the entire community dynamic when it comes to the Battlefield community, because that is an entire other Ragebait ecosystem. Nobody agrees on anything. Every single person has a different idea of what Battlefield as a franchise should even be. And I don't know why, but I've never seen a community have conversations where so many people just straight up deny factual information and bend and twist the truth more than the Battlefield community. You can state something in a conversation that is verifiably true, and someone will inevitably just fucking deny it and argue with you. And I would call this rage bait, but you know what's funny about this? It's not even rage bait. A lot of these people are dead serious, and you're expected to converse with them in a cordial manner. But that's impossible, because even getting a lot of these players up to speed so they can participate in these conversations would take an unimaginable amount of explaining and context and background information. So ultimately, a lot of people just give up and then sling insults at each other. That's actually what happens. And I'll end this section off by just stating, the Battlefield community might be the most anti-skill community I've ever witnessed in any game. And don't come at me with, oh, this is a casual game and it's always been casual, blah, blah, blah. FPS games are inherently competitive. There's someone on the enemy team trying to kill you, okay? It is a inherently competitive situation. I'm not even going to mention the fact that they're hosting official tournaments and they're adding rank to the game, so it is a competitive fucking game, guys. But, you know. Anyway, the Battlefield comm is so anti-skill that if you are even above average and you post a clip of your gameplay, you are going to get insulted. And every time I see it, it's just so sad. Because obviously, you know, with my gameplay, I get a lot of it. I'm used to it at this point. But when like, you know, Jimmy Two Shoes 87, who has like a 2.2 KD, posts a cool kill streak, and I see a bunch of comments telling him to fuck off or go back to COD. It's like, what are we doing? Like, didn't the Battlefield top plays used to be celebrated? Didn't cool things used to happen in Battlefield and people used to say, oh my god, that was so awesome, like, nice flank, or holy shit, that was great. Now, you just get absolutely battered. But you know what? I have noticed a pattern with this sort of thing, right? You will be celebrated as an incredible player if you post a clip and you're moving very slowly, but God forbid if you sprint and then, oh, use a movement mechanic, maybe you jumped just a single time, or maybe you slid a little bit, maybe once in the clip, then you're public enemy number one. The community reaction to some of the clips that I've seen posted just reeks of jealousy and just bitterness. In the end, there's obviously nothing we can do about it, but there is something I can do on my channel, and that is bring back the Battlefield top plays consistently every single weekend without actually missing an upload. I have brought back the Battlefield top plays a couple times before, but I have been reluctant to kind of make these videos because a lot of the time there isn't a lot of support for them, but I just think I have to suck it up and just accept that this is just a good thing to do for the community, and I think people will enjoy it ultimately anyway. So that's pretty much going to wrap this video up. Battlefield 6 is pure, unadulterated rage bait. They need to fix the game. I'm really tired of Battlefield taking about a year to see just about an inch of progress. A lot of the most irritating things I mentioned here are like fundamental design flaws, grenade indicators not working, not being able to spawn in jets from the beginning of the game. These are basic things that players encounter on a day-to-day basis, and they just need to be improved. So, yeah, bit of a rant video. I haven't done one of these in a long time. Feels good, honestly. Really does. This game is infuriating. I don't think Battlefield players get nearly angry enough. In fact, I have stood by this for years, but in my opinion, the normal reaction to playing Battlefield 6, and really most recent Battlefield titles, is to get pretty fucking angry. Because if you're paying attention to the gameplay and you play it consistently, you just start noticing insane issues that are completely unavoidable and go unfixed for a long time. But that's going to wrap this video up. If you watched to this point, I appreciate you. You know, I don't like making these videos, but dude, it gets to a point where like it just has to be made. So let me know your thoughts about all this stuff in the comment section. Hit the like button, hit the sub button, and swing by the streams. Hopefully I'll see you guys there. And yeah, see you guys in the next one.